Hello, magic makers. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this reading is for you. A transmission through the Serpent Gate, a page in the Codex, and perhaps a message you were meant to remember. Before we begin, please light the fire and hit the like button. Every like is a torch along the spiral road. Every comment, a sigil etched into the vault of echoes. And if this message resonates, consider subscribing to the channel and joining our journey through the temple. If there is anything you wish for me to hold in light or carry into the temple with you, prayer, protection, or intention, speak it below. Now, these readings are not predictions, they are transmissions, and I am merely the messenger. The meaning is yours to uncover. Open the temple within and listen for what echoes back, because the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 4 of Swords. I feel like you are a person that's open to new information. You are very receptive now. It's like you're in a meditative state and you're trying to just see what the universe has for you. You know, you're very, you're very tolerant of other people or other ideas, but no, I feel like you're welcoming other ideas. Like you want people to be like, you know, give me your opinion. Let's share knowledge. Let's share data. You know, you're willing to receive all of that. Okay. I feel like you're somebody who probably has a meditative practice. You do breathing exercises. Maybe you do prayer. I feel like you have a certain technique for getting centered. Yeah, for finding the stillness inside of you where you can hear the messages. It's kind of like you're praying, but it's not like an active prayer. It's like you're sitting down, you're closing your eyes, you're getting real quiet, and you're saying like, I'm open, I'm ready. Teach me, you know. This is a mind that is ready to absorb new information. And I think it's important that you first, you know, clear your mind. You get rid of the noise and the static, because this is the magical circle of protection, remember? So it's like we have to clear out all the unwanted noise so that we can sit very still and we can receive the transmission. Something's trying to communicate with you, isn't it? I feel like you know that. I feel like you're receiving the signals. Well, let's see what's coming in, okay? We're going to use the Dove and Serpent spread. There it is, Wheel of Fortune. The signs, symbols, and synchronicities. Oh yeah, this is a direct message from Spirit, okay? We have a 3 of Swords. We have the Temperance card, the Princess of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands. You're being chosen for a mission. You're being chosen to basically give birth to something in the world. There's something that is trying to make its way into the world through you. Okay? Over here we have, there it is, there the Eon doorway. A door to the unseen, a doorway to the future breakthrough. We have the Emperor, a 3 of Cups, and a Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. A lot of good fire cards, yeah. I feel that there's a veil that's kind of, that's parting, okay? And I feel like a lot of synchronicities are rushing in. I feel that there is a message here from Spirit that you're meant to expand in your life right now. You're meant to grow bigger. Your role in something is bigger than you thought it was. And I think that you've been picking up on that. There's more than meets the eye right now for you. And I think you know that you're meant for bigger things, to take a more prominent position either in life, in society, in your local personal life, or in some bigger picture thing. Okay? I feel like Spirit is also stirring some kind of a memory, 3 of Swords, right? Stirring some kind of a memory that feels like feels like a prophecy for you. Feels prophetic. Okay? I don't know what that is exactly yet, but it's here. It's kind of it's maybe something that is really needing your assistance to be born into the world. Okay? I think that maybe this is also a kind of a secret that maybe is being revealed, that's clearing some emotional weight. Okay? Clearing the feelings. There's maybe some bad blood somewhere in your life with maybe a family member. Okay? You have a very curious spirit right now that I think is taking you across this threshold, that you're going through this doorway. You want to know what's on the other side. Yeah, you want to know. There is a doorway, there's a threshold. And as you cross this, I think that you are taking on a larger role in life. You are transforming into an emperor. Okay? I think that you have ancestors or a spirit guide that's walking with you. I don't feel like you know who that person is, though. Okay? So I'm kind of feeling like that's part of your Four of Swords like ritual right now. It's like you're lighting the incense and you're calming down and you're kind of asking like, who's walking with me today? Who is here? Who's present in my life? Who's communicating with me? I feel like somebody's walking this path with you. Yeah. I feel like you're somebody who is learning how to become more intuitive. You're learning how to become more psychic. We're all born with psychic abilities, right? We all have a psyche. We're all psychic. But a lot of us kind of we get wrapped up in other things, and our psychic abilities get kind of buried beneath other things. So I wonder if the Princess of Pentacles here is not really, well, and it is about you, fulfilling your potential and giving birth to something out in the world. That something is trying to make its way into the world through you. Yes, I believe that 100%. I wonder if this is also about you trying to uncover something in yourself. Yeah, trying to uncover perhaps a lost memory. This may be a memory retrieval combination. Okay. This may be about you trying to uncover your psychic abilities, right? Trying to unearth that connection for you. Trying to rediscover your ability to make magic, your ability as a magic maker. Yeah. And maybe trying to reconnect with a spirit guide or an ancestor or something along those lines, okay? Sometimes it's a practice that we have to intentionally sit down and train ourselves to perceive those spirit guides and ancestors and guardian angels. Some people, it's there from the time they're born. They got no problem talking to it and everything. Some of us have to cultivate that. We have to train our minds to calm down and be open to that message. And I think that you're experiencing more of that. I think that you're getting green lights. You're getting a lot of doors opening for you. I feel like you're getting a lot of confirmations from the world around you. Like you'll sit down, you'll settle down, you'll light the candle, you light the incense, and then you'll just say, Spirit, give me a sign. And then something happens. The door knocks or something falls off a shelf, or like you hear a bird out the window or a car horn or the garbage man, whatever, right? You'll get that confirmation. Pay attention to those things, because that's the veil getting very thin. Very, very thin, and you're able to perceive all of that. And I think that you're seeing then through that skill, through that, training yourself to remember your magic, your psychic abilities, I think you're now able to perceive more about what your larger role in the world is. Yeah, what transformation you're meant to go through. Or perhaps the reasons why you've been going through the pressure cooker. What was all of this for? Now, we'll talk about all of that, but first, let's draw the hidden key from the codex, the unseen cipher, the one truth yet unrevealed. This is a card pulled at random, a fragment of the codex beyond the known spread. It represents the factor infinite and unknown, what the watchers have not yet allowed us to see. We're going to set this down right over here with big red ant right on top. Now, we're not going to look at that hidden key until the end of the transmission, but when we do, it will bring all the threads together. It'll confirm the prophecy, and it will close the current page of the codex. If you feel the pulse of intuition, if the dove current is whispering to you, tell me what you sense. Leave a comment. What do you think the hidden key will reveal? Okay, let's look around the room. We see major, 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 major. We see fire. We see water. We see a couple of air cards, and we see some earth. Okay, so it's fairly well balanced, I would say. Pretty heavy on the major arcana, but I think that in some sense, the pressure cooker, the difficulties, the challenges, the tests, you've been going through so many tests in life. Why? What are they for? And I feel like this is you kind of, getting into your room and shutting off the lights and kind of closing the door and lighting some incense and lighting a candle safely and asking, spirit guides, God, goddess, deity, guardian angel, universe, why? What is the purpose? What is all of this for? And I think you're unearthing both the reason why you're being tested so much, and you're also unearthing your ability to communicate with spirit in that way. Yeah. Because this is your current position. Position 1, station. This is where you are now on the spiral road. Okay, it's a snapshot of your position on the spiral road. You're sitting down meditating. Maybe literally, maybe figuratively. It's like you've asked the question, and now you're staying quiet, waiting to hear the answer. Okay? You've announced to the universe, you've asked, you said, show me a sign. Maybe it's a demand, I don't know, not a question, I guess. Will you show me a sign? Yeah. And now you're waiting to hear what the universe echoes back. Okay? You've projected your voice into the vault of echoes, and you're waiting to see what returns to you. You want to know the answers. You want to experience the other side of the veil and get that kind of certainty and understand what your mission is and why things have been happening the way they've been happening. Well, the obstacle then is exactly that. Things are happening that seem out of your hands. The Wheel of Fortune, divine timing, requires faith, hope, and trust. Yeah, and sometimes the universe just says, well, you got to take it on faith. I'm not going to tell you why you've been tested so much. You got to just trust. Okay? But I think that you're saying, I need some kind of answer. I need some kind of reinforcement, some sort of confirmation or encouragement. And I think you're getting that. I think you're asking for a sign, and then suddenly, the commercial comes on the YouTube channel that says, this is your sign, You're getting some things like that, and those synchronicities happen in the world around you. It's not that you close your eyes and you ask for an answer, and then you hear a voice in your head that's saying, I'm your answer, blah, 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 blah. No, something will pop up on the TV or in the commercial, or someone just walking by will say something that it's like, there's no way that's a coincidence. That's synchronicity. That's the definition of synchronicity. Something in the external world that happens that corresponds to something inside of you psychically, and it has a meaningful connection beyond the odds that this is just random, It's kind of like, Spirit, show me, a purple elephant. And then, of course, you go through your day and, right there at the carnival, next to the teddy bears and the alligators and the little stuffed pigs, there's the purple elephant. And it's not obviously a miracle, right? But it holds meaning for us. Pay attention to those signs. They're happening a lot. in your life. They're happening all day, every day. We've got to recognize those, and what we need to do is start writing them down. See, one of the problems in this is that a lot of these things happen and we kind of forget about them. Yeah. And the Three of Swords underneath the surface. This is the soul position. This is something that's crying inside of you. This is something your soul knows, but you've forgotten. You've forgotten that you are a spiritual being. Okay? You need to retrieve your memory of who you really are and what you're really doing here. And you got to remember that you are a pure spirit and that you have a divine plan, a divine mission. You're retrieving your soul memory. Okay? I feel like there might be some kind of a soul contract thing going on because you've been going through a lot of suffering, a lot of pressure cookers. This is the blacksmith's anvil. You've been getting banged around by life. And I don't think you remember why. Your soul knows because you are being prepared for something extraordinary. You're being molded and shaped into an emperor, but you don't know why. Okay? Well, your soul knows why. Okay? And the signs and symbols that are happening in your life, the Wheel of Fortune is here to allow you to start remembering what that spiritual prophecy is. It starts revealing that you're digging up those memories again. I think that in your meditations or your prayers or whatever your spiritual practice involves, I think a lot of memories are being stirred up. Maybe this is even past life stuff. Maybe this is something in a past life that is still continuing to this day, and you're still preparing for something, or it's even like an unfulfilled mission from a past life is now asking to be fulfilled here and now, today in this life. The spiral road is not just one incarnation. Okay, there are many. The spiral road is a fractal road. Okay. And this, let's talk about this, the chain. This is the link that's been binding you. This is the ancient story. Okay? This is the karmic weight. To me, it does feel like this card in this position, saying that you're still being tested for something. That this is an ancient story of pressure cookers, that you've been slowly transforming into something over lifetimes. And of course, I think that you're trying to unearth those memories, and you're trying to ask Spirit for those memories. Maybe you're doing intentional meditation in order to remember the past, the history. Okay? You'll be doing that past life regression type meditations and things. Or even other professional kind of hypnosis, those sorts of things. There are services out there. I've never tried those. But this is that chain. And so it feels like it's maybe a similar test that's happening over and over again. Keep coming up to the same obstacle until you remember what it is you are supposed to do, or who you were supposed to become, or what the message, what the test really is all about. Okay? I think in a very real way, you're asking Spirit, why? I don't remember. Please tell me, what was I supposed to do here? Why do I have to keep doing this? Okay? And of course, something that we take on faith and trust, I think we're also, our faith and our trust is being rewarded. Spirit is opening doors where there never were doors before. Spirit is showing you things that will confirm the path that you're on, and then in the future position, we have the Seven of Wands. Okay, thanks for the confirmation. I'll go back to the pressure cooker and I'll keep doing it. So now you kind of have that energy to it's almost like back here, you're banging your head against the wall. And you say, I forgot why I was here. Why am I doing this again? Shoot, I don't remember. And then we go and we ask the boss, why am I doing that again? And they say, come on, just go, just do it. And you say, no, really, why am I doing it again? And then they kind of give you a little clue, give you a hint. Oh, okay, now I'm back. I'm just going to continue to do it. Spirit does not want you to give up on whatever this whatever the challenges have been, I think that it's kind of, I don't think it's necessarily one particular thing. I think that you've been tested a lot, and you've kind of forgotten why, or like what it's for. What is the universe trying to transform you into? Okay. And then, of course, now you're beginning to see, you're beginning to understand what it's for. And you don't like the pressure cookers, but you're going to do your best. You're not going to give up. You know, you're going to keep trying. Okay. You're going to keep fighting. I think the Seven of Wands, Valor, right? The ability to fight because you believe in what you're fighting for. It's not just fighting just to fight. It's not like a Five of Wands, right? It's a Seven. It's Valor. Fighting for something because I believe in it. I'm fighting for something. A principle or a destiny, a prophecy, you know. We're willing to endure a lot more when we believe that it's for a divine sort of purpose. When there's a bigger picture, when there's a reason for it. And the reason is, yeah, Spirit's trying to expand you. Spirit's trying to make you grow. I think you're meant to be a leader. The Princess of Pentacles at the top here. The Giant. There is a guardian sleeping within you, a giant sleeping within you. This is a small card, right? This is a dry, barren, sterile, frozen landscape. Nothing's growing here. Well, that's what Spirit's trying to do, is trying to dig out your potential. Trying to get you to become who you're meant to become by pushing you, challenging you, testing you. Putting you through the fires, dragging you over the coals. So that you can grow into who you're meant to become. The sacred challenge. The obstacles are the way. The sacred tests, the ordeals of your initiation. Because what you're unearthing, well, a lot of things, the memories, okay, but also unearthing your purpose, unearthing your psychic abilities again, yeah, but unearthing your potential, sculpting yourself, yeah. And I think that there is a very important role that you're meant to play in your life right now. And that's going to take us over to the path of the serpent. We talked about the Seven of Wands, that valor. Subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you haven't yet. Claim your divine purpose. Your general energy is the doorway. Something is coming from, it's kind of like you're the doorway, right? You're the doorway that something is coming out of you into the world. And it's your true self. It's kind of a weird image, right? You're the doorway and something's emerging from you. That's crazy. But there's a door here. And you are the door. So what's inside of you, you're paving the way. You're building the doorway. You are the doorway of fire. You're holding the door open so that your true, essential, authentic self can come forth and claim its birthright. Okay, you're the Stargate. Yeah. And so it's kind of echoing here in the very practical way. You're meant to do something significant in life. In the practical, human, mundane world, you're meant for a larger role. What you're doing on the spiritual plane is you're acting as the door, as a cosmic doorway, spiritual doorway. This is a physical doorway, a physical portal, giving birth to something in the physical world, right? This is the cosmic doorway. This is the spiritual doorway. Let's do a divine doorway oracle card. How about that? There's a threshold that's being crossed here. The threshold is one of transformation. The morning memory. Its healing gift runs a destined course. The morning dawn, our inspired source. Meditate under the sun, right? Referencing our Four of Swords, meditating. Okay. Under the sun, well, that's the sun is referencing the birth, right? Birthing the sun, birthing, and what is the sun? Your true self. Your cosmic self. that true, authentic self that can see all of the lifetimes, that every lifetime is just a garment on your true self. Okay? You can see all the spiral roads, all the spirals at once. The cosmic perspective, okay? Birthing your spiritual self. Anyway, that doorway, that threshold, you're about to cross. It's a choice that you have to make. Okay, we have the fire, and then we have the result of the fire as the emperor. It's your choice if you want to allow the universe or spirit to mold you and shape you and transform you into the emperor. You got to choose the fire to become the fire. And the Aeon card, the Judgment card, the rebirth, the reawakening, the baptism by fire is up to you. The Emperor is being born from the Princess of Pentacles through the fiery doorway. That is you. Okay? Because now you remember what all of those trials and tribulations have been for. And you're saying yes to this. And the Emperor is now what is coming out of the shadows. It's coming from the darkness, and it's being born into the world, and it is you. Okay, this is that part of you that has been hiding. It's been buried. You're unearthing it. It is your leadership. It is your authority. It is your prominent role in your life. You're meant to be a leader. You're meant to be an authority. You're meant to be in charge of something massive. This is a fortified ego. This is someone who believes that they are supposed to be doing it. This is somebody who believes that their reign is divinely sanctioned. You've got the mandate of heaven. Okay? You've got the blessing of divinity. You're wearing the Uraeus serpent of the Pharaoh. You know? That your rule has been prophesized, right? I'm not trying to inflate your ego or anything, but these are the archetypes. That the Egyptian Pharaoh was Horus, incarnate. And this is the Pharaoh. This is the fortified ego that has the divine sanction. You don't want to lose the mandate, okay? You've got to be responsible with this power. However it's manifesting in your life, if you're the leader of a business or you're getting a promotion or something in the practical world is going to have you in charge of it. Okay. You were meant for something beyond your current station. Maybe you're going to become a titan of industry, a religious leader, or a business owner, or the head of a family, or any of these things. You've got to do it responsibly. Okay. The Three of Cups is in an interesting position. It's the mirage position, the interesting illusion here, and it's a card of abundance. It's a card of joy. Okay. Could be that the illusion or the lie is that divine nature, spirituality is supposed to be all pleasure. It's supposed to be fun. If this is my prophecy, if this is my divine right, if this is my destiny, why does it feel so uncomfortable? Why is it not just a celebration? So the emperor, I think, has to be a good emperor and not just use their position for their own personal gratification. But I think that the opposite might be kind of true too, that the emperor doesn't have to deny themselves any of the good things in life. That, a spiritual person can still have pleasure, can still indulge in earthly things. Yeah, I think that's important too. The Three of Cups is also suggesting to me that you're not alone in this season, the coming season of your life. You're going to have allies. You're going to have people around you. You're going to have people that love you and cherish you as you do them. There's going to be a group celebration here. Okay. It's kind of there's a party in Scorpio town. Yeah. And I like that. Just be responsible. There's a reason to celebrate. So maybe it is a promotion, or maybe it's literally like a new family member coming in. Maybe you're getting a cat. I don't know. Finally, we have our Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is, lifting the veil. So I feel like that really is you getting a very clear perception of your own divinity. I think you're understanding who you are and why you're here. I think that everything that has been kind of cloudy or murky is now being revealed to you. There's a self-acceptance. There's a radical emotional honesty. There's a radical self-love. This is the princess, this is the princess sort of maturing into the queen. Okay? Because this is dry, barren, sterile. This is earth and earth, double earth. This, however, is double water. Okay? So to me, that really is that the kind of the renewal, right? It's kind of like the Nile is flooding, and that's bringing so much growth and abundance. What was once not supporting life is now full of life. Okay. And so I think that this is a lot of clarity. There's also a lot of growth. Okay, mystery card in this context probably be the Empress. What happens when you take a dry, barren landscape and you flood it with that lovely Nile? Well, you get growth. You get an Empress energy, right? You get abundance. Massive, massive abundance. And I expect the mystery card will be that. Maybe. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. I kind of think that's got to be what it is, right? I don't know. 5 of Pentacles. Interesting. Feels to me that the road is not quite over yet. You're not quite, this spiral road that you're on, you're not quite there. There's more, there's a little bit more challenge. Okay. There's a little bit more, for you to do. This is a card that's really like saying it's not time for comfort yet. It's not time for rest. It's a time for more traveling. You got to keep walking that spiral road, and that's probably why you've got the 7 of Wands in the future position. You've got to have the valor. You've got to be willing to continue doing battle, because you still have more work to do. Okay, perhaps before the celebration, or even saying like after the celebration, you've got more work to do. In other words, you're always on the spiral road, and it's going to continue and continue and continue. This might be a card that's kind of like saying, you're going to get the celebration, okay, for the work that you've done. You're going to be rewarded, and that reward, that celebration, will motivate you to continue making progress. Okay? I feel like you're never going to be truly done, or or even content with what you're building. There's always more road to travel. Yeah. And I feel like this is you pushing forward in that expansion. And maybe this is your business expanding. This is your life expanding. I feel like this is you now in harmony with that process of expansion, that you're on that spiral road. And as that wheel of fortune is turning, there you are, just kind of chugging along too. I think this is going to be a very productive season for you. And now this transmission will continue beyond the gate. In the extended reading, we'll cast an I Ching hexagram, we'll draw from the oracle, and we'll open a new cluster of keys from the codex. If you feel called to continue, the path is open. There's a link in the corner There's a link below the video. New transmissions for Scorpio, Mondays and Thursdays. Be sure to receive both. Subscribe if you haven't yet. It aligns your signal with the dove current and ensures your next page in the codex will find you. Leave a comment and let me know where along the spiral road you're watching from. It helps us map the resonance of the temple. I want you to remember that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. The codex reveals itself through you. I thank you, I love you, and we are all walking this path together.